Well, for the first time since 2020, things were back to normal at the annual Southeast Fruit and Vegetable Growers Conference in Savannah, Georgia. Given the difficulties farmers have experienced during that time, well, there are several points the group needed to discuss. Chip Carter has more.
This is the 21st time we have gathered in Savannah, Georgia for the Southeast Fruit and Vegetable Growers Conference. Chris Butts is the head of Georgia Fruit and Vegetable Association, which sponsors this show with the South Carolina Peach Council. This is 21 times they've gathered under this roof. Had a year off for COVID, so it's actually the 22nd year of the show. 26 years into the organization now. Chris, I've watched this grow from when I first started coming 14, 15 years ago. It was already a sizable show, but I would have to say, to my eyes, it has maybe as much as doubled or increased at least by a third in the time period that I've been coming.
It's fueled by a growing industry in Georgia. We're bringing over $1 billion in farm gate worth of production just out of the state of Georgia every year.
That's amazing.
More growers, they need to learn to be more efficient. They need to learn about better yields, and it's evidenced by the fact that we have a record number of them here this week.
How many made it this time? I know it's usually, before the pandemic, you were hitting 3,000. Yep. Then we had some different numbers. Where are you this year?
We're at 3,200 as of this afternoon.
Is that a new high water mark? It's got to be close.
It's close. There was one pre-pandemic year where we did a little bit more, but in the new normal, we're going to call it a record.
And I have to say, you say the new normal, and I have to say, this is the first show I've been to since all that started that just feels normal.
It does, and it's good to be back with our friends.
Isn't it?
We're so worried about input costs and things that are out of our control. We can come here and we can communicate with each other and we can commune.
Now we're back to dealing with the troubles of farming, not the troubles of COVID.
Exactly.
And we know this is a conference. This is not a marketing conference. This is not where people come to sell to each other. It's not marketers and growers meeting together. This is where the growers themselves are coming to learn what's new in their field, how to do what they do better. What has happened in the last 12 months since they last convened here, what's coming in the next 12, the next 24, the next 36. This is where people come to learn.
Yes, sir. It is, and man, you just stumped me there. You went in a totally different direction than I was expecting. This is where folks come to learn, and we've got experts from across the country, and that's from research companies, land-grant universities, but you can also learn from each other. And the beauty of it is, you can take this back to the farm tomorrow and put it into practice for your spring crop.
Of course, thanks for the report, Chip. Now the conference wrapped up over the weekend. The annual gathering is considered the premier fruit and vegetable event of the year.